Okay, today's video, I want you to find that product with the FOIL method. That is a -3. So again, you got two terms multiplied by two non-like terms. That's the FOIL method. So I take 8x to 2x and 8x to 9. Ditch him. Now I'd repeat the process with the other term. -3 times 2x times 9. By the way, my parents left this cat with me, so if you see noise in the background, apologize for that. And then it's the same old song and dance, okay? Okay, so you got 16x squared. You have to add the x's. Okay, 72 and -6 is 68. And then net minus 27. Now today we're taking this and getting back to here. Now I know that seems like a chore, but with the Berry method, okay, which is what you guys voted on yesterday you wanted to do, okay, actually makes this a lot simpler. You just got to remember some of your rules. So the first part's factoring. It's very similar to yesterday's assignment, but it's different, okay? So when I'm factoring, I label it ABC. With an ABC, I see if I have a GCF, and you will on some today, okay? You will on some. Okay, 4, 7, and 3. Again, if you look at your multiplication table, let's see what I did with that. Nope, I misplaced it. Throw it in the trash, I gotta get it. Okay. So 4, 7, and 3. The only row you're going to find 4, 7, and 3 is in the first row. You can't factor out x because of that c without x, and a is positive, so GCF's positive. So we're not going to do the GCF. Okay, now you're going to make your table. Don't make the parentheses yet. Okay, that stops today when you just go make two parentheses and throw an x and an x because it's 4x squared. You're going to take your a times your c. You're going to get 12 positive. So with a positive, I'll start with a negative. I can always switch it to positive if it's the wrong sign. So we're adding to 7. Okay, so 12 divided by 1 is 12. There's no way that adds, okay? 12 divided by 2 is 6. That's close, but close is not good enough. And then 12 divided by 3 is 4. That adds to -7, but I need +7. So I circle those. I just change the signs so that they're positive, because a positive times a positive is obviously positive, and it adds to 7. After you find the numbers starting today, you need to write A equals. If A is not that implied 1, then you're not just going to go XX. You're going to make two sets of parentheses, and you're going to start with 4x and 4x. And then you put your +3 and your +4. Now 4 and 3, okay, are only in the first row. So if you divide by 1, you can just drop it. I mean, you can, and then you X out that term. Now 4 and 4, they're the same number, so you need to divide by 4, okay? That's 1x or x plus 1. And I have my answer right there. Circle that. This is your answer. 4x plus 3 times 1x or x plus 1. Okay, next problem. A, B, C. GCF equals 2, 7, and 6 are only found in the first row, so it's a 1 GCF. Okay, so I'm not doing that obviously, so I make my table. 2 times 6 is 12, positive 12, and I'm adding to try to get to -7. So it's kind of like the last one. So 12 divided by 1 is 12. I add, that's not even close. Divide by 2, you get 6. That's close, but not going to work. 3 and 4. Now that adds to 7. Oh, by the way, I didn't put my signs. I'm sorry. Positive, I should have been doing negative, 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 negative. I didn't set my signs, that's my fault. Now add those, and you actually want -7 this time, so keep it. And A equals 2. So that means, okay, if it's 2, it's not x times x. So I make two sets, okay? I start with, it will divide down. You got to trust the process. -3, -4. Well, 2 and 3 are only in the first row, so we keep that as 2x minus 3. Because dividing by 1 just keeps it the same. 2 and 4 are in the second row, so I divide by 2, and it's 1x or x minus 2. A textbook would say x minus 2. Put a times dot, and that's your answer. You circle that. Okay. Okay, next one. Now you're going to start getting some GCFs. I said you were, okay? GCF's not 1 here, okay? 2, 14, 36 are all in the second row. So I have a 2. Now you can't put an X with it because C doesn't have an X and it's going to be positive. But if it's 2, I expect to see the GCF done, okay? So the GCF goes here. So 2 goes here. Now go up and divide by 2. Don't get lazy. Underline. So that is now 1x to the second. You can put that 1 in parentheses. Minus 7x minus 18. And now we have a new A, B, and C. Okay? Now what do we do with the 2? Don't ignore the 2 till the end of the problem. Okay? Now I make my table. Okay? And I'm taking 1 times negative 18. 2's out. It's negative 18. So positive, negative. And I need to add to make negative 7. 1 and 18, nope. Divide by 2, you get 9. That would be negative 7, okay? Now, what does A equal? It ain't 2 anymore. My new A is a 1. So when it's a 1, okay, you can cross out the 1. It has to be 1, and you can do what you did yesterday and make x plus 2 minus 9. Now, what about the GCF of 2? You need to put that down here in front of the parentheses because that is part of the factorization, okay? So 2 times x plus 2 times x minus 9. So if you do a GCF, I expect to see it out there. Okay, next up, A, B, C, GCF. 8, 11, and 10. So here's the 8. Nope. 8's in the fourth row, but the other ones ain't. They all three have to be in the same row. 8's in the second row, the other ones aren't. So it'd just be 1. Okay, so we are not doing the GCF. We go straight to the table. 8 times negative 10, that would be negative 80. So that'd be a positive times a negative. And I need the factors to add to plus 11. Okay, 1 and 80, that ain't even close. 80 divided by 2 is 40. Nope. 80 divided by 3 is a decimal. Don't even put 3 on the table. 80 divided by 4 is 20. That's negative 16. And then 80 divided by 5 is 16. Okay, that makes negative 11. Okay. To have it be positive, you just change the signs, both of them. Now, A. Well, unfortunately, A is 8. So I need to make 2 sets of parentheses to break the 8x squared into the appropriate factors. So 8 xx minus 5 plus 16. Now that's not going to stay, that's not right, because 8 times 8 is 64. We don't have a 64, it's because we're going to divide down. Okay, 8 and 5 are both in the first row, so that factor will remain 8x minus 5. 8 and 16, here's 8. Okay, 16's in that row. It's got to be the furthest row down, so 8 is what we divide by. We want to divide by. Now, they're also both in the fourth row, but you got to take the furthest one down, so 8. So it's going to be 1x or x plus 2. Now, we didn't do a GCF, so that's the answer. Okay. See, when I actually do the GCF part, 2 goes in front. Okay, and then our final problem. A, B, C. Okay. GCF. You can't ignore the GCF today. Yesterday you could, today you can't. Some, I mean, a lot of them are 1, but okay, let's go find 12. Well, here's the first row of 12. 36 is there, 27 ain't. So I go up and find 12. There's 12, 36, 27 ain't there. 12, 36, no 27, 12, 27, 36. So 3 is the GCF. Just 3 though, you can't take an X with it because you got that C that doesn't have X. So if you're wondering, why did you do X 2 days ago? Well, because I didn't have C, okay? I had an A and a B. I can do X with an A and a B, but not when there's a C. So I expect the GCF to be factored out. You put that 3 on the line, then you go up and divide by the number there. Okay, so that would be 4x to the second plus 12x plus 9. Now I have a new ABC. 3's out till the end. When I do my table, it's based off this, the new expression I've created. So 36 positive, so negative, negative. I can always switch them, add to plus 12. 1 and 36 don't do it. 2 and 18, no. 3 and divide by 3 is 12. No, you're getting closer though. 36 divided by 4 is 9. I'm really close, but that don't work. Okay, it doesn't divide by 5. If you divide by 6, you get 6. Oh, that's negative 12. So I stopped there, but I need it positive 12, so positive, positive. Now the A is not 12, it is now 4, okay? So again, you're going to make 2 sets of parentheses, and you lead with 4. 4x, 4x, plus, see if I put that A there, I know exactly how to lead off. Well, they're identical parentheses, or duplicates, okay? So 4 and 6, okay? 4 and 6 are in the second row, so you divide down by 2x plus 3. I'm probably going to do the same thing here. Now you did a GCF, so you need to carry that 3 down. Now if you circle that answer, I'm fine, but if you have identical parentheses, you would see the back of a book write it as 3 times 2x plus 3 to the second, okay? Because those are 2, you just make it into 1 with the second power when they're identical. Okay, that's the factoring part. Now I'm going to go over how to solve a couple of equations, okay? Or actually 4. There's 2 answers, okay? So you're not done until you find the 2 answers. A, B, C. You have to be equal to 0. You are, okay? So I go into my factoring. Okay, 3, 2, and 8. Now it's exactly what I was doing on the other page. I just got it formulated into 2 answers. So 3, 2, and 8 are in the first row, so we're not doing it. So we go to the table. 3 times negative 8 is negative 24. So that's a positive times a negative, and we're adding to try to make negative 2 out of it. 1 and 24, no. Divide by 2, you get 12, nope. 3 and 8, nope. 4 and 6, okay, right there, that's negative 2. And I want it negative 2, so I keep it. Okay, now after you find the numbers, A equals 3, okay? So with 3, you're going to, with anything but a 1, you need to make 2 sets, okay? Okay, so 3x, 3x, and then plus 4 minus 6. So 3 and 4 are just in the first row, so we'll keep it 3x plus 4. 3 and 6 are in the third row, so we would divide by 3, and it'd be 1x or x minus 2. Now we didn't do the GCF, so nothing to put here. We put equals 0, and that's my F1, that's my F2, okay? 3x plus 4 equals 0, 1x minus 2 equals 0. So I minus 4, 0 minus 4 is negative 4. Now 4 divided by 3, just leave it as a fraction, negative 4/3. And then you add your 2, that makes 2. You can divide by 1, but it's still just 2, okay? Okay, next problem, 5x squared plus x equals 4. So 2 answers. On a quadratic equation, you need to label your A, put a 1 1, that's a B. I'm not going to put the 1 in parentheses because it's not x to the second, okay? Now you don't have your 0, so you minus 4, and there's no c over there, so I minus 4, and that's the c over there. So we have 5x squared plus 1x minus 4 equals 0. Whoops, I almost forgot, okay? After you're equal to 0, do your discriminant, okay? B squared minus 4ac. I forgot to do it on the first problem, sorry. So b is 1, and then a is 5, c is negative 4. Drop that minus down. 1 to the second is 1. I forgot to do this on the last problem. 4 times 5 is 20, times negative 4 is negative 80, plus, square root of 81 is 9. So I know that this will work. I can go forward. Okay, so GCF, 5, 1, and 4 would just be 1, so we don't do that. And then I make my table. 5 times negative 4 is negative 20, so it's a positive times a negative. We're adding to try to make positive 1, okay? So divide by 1 is 20. Divide by 2 is 10. That doesn't work, okay? Doesn't even divide by 3. Divide by 4, you get 5. Okay, that adds the negative 1, so circle it. To make it add to positive 1, you go plus, negative. Now, A is 5, okay? A is 5, so you make 2 sets of parentheses. The equals 0 will go down here. So 5, 5, x minus 4 plus 5. 5 and 4 are just in the first row, so that factor will not be able to be divided. 5 and 5 you divide by 5, don't keep it, okay? So it'd be 1x or x plus 1. Didn't do a GCF, so nothing to put here. Then we have the two factors to set equal to 0, okay? So 5x minus 4 equals 0, 1x plus 1 equals 0. So I add 4, 5x equals 4, divide by 5, 4/5, okay? Minus 1, you get negative 1. Divide by 1, that's negative 1, okay? Okay, 2 more. Okay, 2 answers here. So label it A, B. With A, B, C equations, you have to get it equal to 0 first. So I subtract 16x. There's no B over there, so I just put it on the end. B minus 12. There's no C, so minus 12. So you now have 3x squared minus 16x minus 12 equals 0. Now find your discriminant to make sure this can be factored. Okay, so B, negative 16. 4, A is 3, and C is negative 12. Okay, so you drop your square root, minus, you take negative 16, don't use the caret key when doing this because you're going to mess it up, okay? Just take it times itself, 256. Then I take 4 times 3 times negative 12, and I get negative 144, plus, 256 plus 144 is 400. And I square root 400. Okay, I got a whole number. I don't care what the whole number is. That means continue with your GCF and table. 3, 16, and 12. The only place you can find those is in the first row. Okay, I mean 3. There's a 12, but there's no 16. They all have to be able. So GCF's 1. Now table goes up. 3 times negative 12 is negative 36. Okay, so it's a positive times a negative, and we're adding to get negative 16. 1 and 36, not a chance. Divide by 2, you get 18. Okay, that's negative 16 there. Right number, right sign. Now A is not just 1, it's 3. 3x squared. So If A is 3, well, we need to make 2 sets so I can get the 3 broken down correctly. I just put equals 0 at the end, okay? So 3x plus 2 minus 18. So 3 and 2 are just in row 1, so that would remain the same. 3 and 18, I think those are both in the third row, so they can be divided by 3, and that's 1x minus 6. Okay, GCF was just 1, so I ignore it. So F1, F2. So minus your 2, you get negative 2. Divide by 3, negative 2/3. Plus 6, that's 6. You can divide it by 1, but it's still 6. Okay. All right, last problem. 2 solutions. I got an A, got a B, got a C. You're equal to 0, so you don't have to rewrite it. Now go evaluate your discriminant. Okay, so B is 24, A is 3, and C is 45. So I take 24 times 24, don't rely on the caret key, 576. Then I will be taking 4 times 3 times 45, 540. Minus those, you get 36. Square root of 36 is 6. It's a whole number. So guess what that means? We're factoring. So GCF, and then the table. Put the table down there. GCF, we have a GCF here. 3, 24, and 45 are all in the third row. So you need to factor 3 out, not with an X, just a 3. So get the 3 factored out, and then you go up and divide by 3. So that's going to be 1x second. Put the 1 in parentheses, so that's my new A, plus 8x, that's my new B, plus 15, and that's my new C. Okay, still equal to 0. Now, we have a new AC. 1 times 15 is 15 positive, matching signs, adding to positive 8. 1 and 15, no. 2 is a decimal, then 3, 5. Okay, that's negative 8. To make it positive 8, we just go plus, plus. What's your A, folks? It ain't 3. 3's out. A's 1. So when it's 1, you can get rid of the 1, and you just need to make 2 parentheses, okay? XX plus 3 plus 5. Now, you did a GCF of 3, so in the factoring, that 3 goes here, but it doesn't get an F, okay? The F's are the parentheses. Now, if the 3 had an X, I'd label it with F, but it doesn't. It's not important. So X plus 3 equals 0, X plus 5 equals 0. So we get negative 3 and negative 5. Okay, I'm going to give you some clues here. This one, the 2 parentheses are your answers. The GCF's 1 here, okay? The table will be found rather quickly, quicker than you think. You just do your thing. GCF's 1 here, okay? Number 3, GCF's 1 here. The GCF's 1, I'm going to give you a little clue on the table. You might want to put a hint. If you divide by 6, you'll get what you're looking for from your table when you're on your table. The GCF's 1. Okay, number 5. Yep, and equal to 0. GCF's going to be 1. Okay. Then right here, you have to move your 4 over. Okay, and the GCF's 1. On these, you're finding the 2 answers for X.